More than 100,000 people lined the streets of Windsor and the grounds of its famous castle to celebrate the wedding of the new Duke and Duchess of Sussex. People had flown from across the world especially for the event. Many camped out on the streets of Windsor overnight in the hope of getting a glimpse of the royal family and the celebrity guests as they made their way to and from the chapel. There was a friendly and relaxed atmosphere among those waiting along the route. Jill Palmeter, from Nova Scotia, Canada, and Susan Thompson from California made friends while camping outside the castle grounds. When Thompson found out the wedding was to be in May, she was so determined to be at the front that she booked a hotel room for every weekend of the month and cancelled the others when the exact date was announced. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle greeted visitors as they rode through Windsor in a horse-drawn carriage. Photographed Christopher Furlong, PA, she said, "I'm really into the royals and I watched William and Kate's wedding back in California. But this time I decided I would really love to be there. I'm so excited that the bride is American. The other reason is because I think when Meters and Diana died, it was a moment that defined a generation. Everyone remembers where they were when she died and a lot of people feel we should support William and Harry as they don't have their mother anymore." Palmeter agreed, "It's a moment in history." Nearby, Thomas and Alan Defoe, who arrived on Friday from Paris, had been eagerly awaiting their favorite royal, Harry, as well as the first glimpse of the bride's dress. They slept on the street overnight to secure places at the front of the barrier near the castle's Henry VIII gate. Alan, who works for the French government as a civil servant, admits he is the reason they came all the way from Paris for the wedding. He said, "About 15 years ago, I got a magazine all about the royals and have been a big fan since then. Harry is my favorite because he is the future of the monarchy. We have got a really good spot, which is good, as Alan is such a huge fan," Thomas said. "There was a really good atmosphere here last night. Everyone is so friendly. There are people here from Italy, Belgium and Switzerland. It's been great." Inside the castle grounds, 2,640 members of the public had been invited by the couple to celebrate the special day and were able to hear the service via loudspeakers. There were guide leaders, magistrates, religious leaders, volunteers, teachers and staff from the royal households who waved flags and cheered as the sun blazed down on them. Although they were not offered food on site, a decision that raised eyebrows when it was announced, guests were handed gift bags with branded shortbread, a giant chocolate coin and a bottle of water. Most had brought their own picnics and said they were just grateful to have front row seats. Rod Shamji from Walsall, who was invited in honor of his interfaith community work, attended with his wife and friends including Rena Noble, a radio producer from London. They were particularly impressed by the service and how different it was from other royal weddings. Shamji said, "It was great that people from different communities were invited. I think it's really nice that a local boy from Walsall, who has done nothing particularly special, apart from some community work, has been invited for that reason. It's really special and I think it shows the tone that Meghan and Harry wanted for their wedding. I think they achieved that, especially with the parts of the ceremony where you heard songs from Black America in The American Pastor. It was fantastic," Annabelle said. "The service was a nice blend of American and British. It was very different from the royal family, I thought. I was surprised but really liked the sermon from the American preacher. I wasn't expecting that kind of a sermon but I thought it was great to reflect Meghan's dual heritage culture." Windsor locals Stephen Chapman and Judeline Nicholas were enjoying a drink in the sun opposite the chapel after the service ended. The couple were able to enter the grounds due to Chapman's job with the Crown Estate, which runs and manages the land surrounding the castle. Nigel Wraxall and his family watched the wedding on a screen at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. Photographed Sarah Marsh for The Guardian, he described how the excitement had built in the run-up to the ceremony. "You could really feel it and the tension was rising on the estate. We have been working really hard getting the long mile ready and cutting foliage for use in the church and reception. We have been flat out, but it's been really nice to see the end result." Nicholas said Windsor was the ideal location for the wedding. "It couldn't have been done anywhere else in the world. They got it absolutely perfect." Meanwhile, in southeast London on the lawns of the National Maritime Museum, Greenwich, beside the Queen's house, crowds gathered to watch the royal wedding on a big screen. They had brought with them picnics and waved Union flags. Among those in attendance was Nigel Wraxall, 45, alongside his wife and kids. His family was celebrating with another couple, who they went to university with, and their children. "We are from Greenwich, so we have not come far. I have come because it's a great excuse for a celebration and it's a wedding. It's also a nice day and we've not had too many of those," he said. His son, Joe, 11, added that he was excited. "I like the royals. I like the Queen. She's impressive for a 90-year-old and you've got to be nice to her as she chops people's heads off," he said with a grin. Other people who came to celebrate include Michelle Flynn, 37, and Shireen Ward, 35, who were watching the royal wedding with a large group of friends and family. The group had brought with them an array of picnic items including strawberries, Victoria sponge, sausage rolls, jerk chicken, coleslaw and prosecco. The wedding was a landmark moment. "It's like someone who is relatively normal has been accepted into an establishment that has been closed off for years. She is like the girl next door and she has gone through trials and tribulations, professionally and racially, and battled through it all to be part of the royal family," said Flynn. Ward added that Meghan Markle's dress was breathtaking. "It was quite mesmerizing when she stepped out of the car," she said. The pair said they were surprised that there was a gospel choir during the ceremony, adding that they had found some names on the guest list quite surprising. But, they added, "the best part about the day was seeing two people who genuinely love each other get married. This is the other thing, they genuinely seem to be in love. It's a marriage not of convenience but just a marriage of love. I think that's nice and I hope us as a general public give them the privacy they need to engage in life and enjoy the future," Flynn said.